Before we get started having all the fun we're going to have in this class on Adobe Illustrator CC, Creative Cloud, let's look at how we're going to learn. In other words, what's the best way for you to get the most out of this training? At Infinite Skills, we've got a three-step process, in a sense, a formula to really successful learning. And it starts with, basically, controlling the process. You have control. You also have good structure in the learning, and you have really good working files. That leads to, well, either a really cluttered computer or success. Now let's talk about that path to success. The first thing you need is a good learning environment. I teach classes like Photoshop in video production, and we talk about when you're working on your monitor and getting a good color correction going. But I also talk about the environment of the room that you're in. You need to eliminate distractions. I've got a television set in my studio. I don't have it on when I'm working, obviously. I don't even have it on with the mute on because it's distracting. Get rid of the distractions in the room. Be ready to learn. You're in control. You decide when you're going to do it. When I teach classes at university, guess what? If you're not in my class at the right time, you're not going to learn because you're not going to be there. You decide when you're ready to learn. It's your attitude. Don't go into this angry or with a bad attitude. Alertness. If you're tired, stop. I can't tell you how many students I've had at university. It's not that I'm boring or anything, but they'll sleep in class. And I can tell their eyes are rolling up in the back of their head. They're trying to stay awake, but they're not. Now, this might sound like common sense, but if you're tired, stop. You're in control. Remember that you are in control. Follow the structure of the lesson plan. These lessons are built like building blocks, one on top of another. Each chapter is it's a structure unto itself, okay? You can begin and end a particular idea in a chapter, but it's being built upon by the information in the previous chapter. So, if you don't get it, hit replay. Start it all over again until you get it, because the chances are, if you're not getting that lesson and you move to the next lesson, which is building on the previous one, you might not get that one either. So, hit replay if you need to. Incorporate your own personality into this training. How does this affect me? How do I use this in my world? The working files, which we're going to talk about next real quick, are going to help you understand the material as I'm teaching it. But the goal is not to work with my information, is it? The goal is to work with your own files. So you ask yourself, how is this affecting me in my world? And then finally, the third step, of course, is the work files. Now let me show you something here. Here we are on my extremely clean and organized desktop. Well, I knew company was coming, so I cleaned up. I'm on a Macintosh. Don't worry about that. Mac Windows, it makes no difference whatsoever. But lonely in the middle of my desktop is a working files folder. Now, if I open that up, I made that folder, but inside of it, I have all the folders that contain all of the documents to complete the course Adobe Illustrator CC. Everything is there. It's control, structure, and working files that will get you to your destination. Let's move on.